You want to get ripped, you want to get some abs, but you find dieting too restrictive. Trust me, it doesn't have to be that way. We have a few things to unpack in this video, but I promise if you just give me 5 minutes, I'll help you out and clear things up so that you can get ripped, you can get that desired body without restricting yourself and make it sustainable with your lifestyle. Let's start with basics. Nutrition is the most important component to getting in shape. So to lose body fat, to get abs, to get leaner, to get ripped, whatever term you want to use, you will have to eat in a calorie deficit. You have to burn more calories than you consume every single day. That's how you can lose body fat. If you stay until the end of the video, I'm going to share with you how you can work your calorie deficit out specifically for you, because of course everybody's numbers are different and what will work for one person might not work for you. I'm going to share with you that at the end of the video, so make sure you stay around for that. So at this point, you know that you want to get abs, you know the how, you know that you need to eat in a calorie deficit if you want to get abs. But the problem you have is that you don't want to give up your favorite foods, and I'm telling you that you don't have to. So here's what you need to do. First of all, focus on these two things. The first thing is the calorie deficit, like we said. Whatever you do, whatever happens in your nutrition, in your diet, eat in that calorie deficit. Focus on that, hit those numbers, and then no matter what you do, you'll be okay. The second and also very important thing that you need to remember and focus on is protein. When you start to cut your calories, one of the biggest mistakes people do is they also cut their protein. They think that because they eat less calories, they need less protein. And that is one of the worst mistakes you can do. And the two main reasons why that's a big mistake is, one, protein is the most satiating food that you can eat. I know for me, I could easily eat 2,000 calories worth of carbohydrates. It's easy for me. But try eating 2,000 calories worth of protein, worth of red meat, or any other type of protein. It's very, very, very challenging. Nobody's sat down eating 2,000 calories of meat. It just doesn't work that way. So not only is it the most satiating food, it's going to keep you full, which is important when you're in a calorie deficit. It's also the only nutrient that's going to help you build new muscle, and more importantly, when cutting, when trying to lose some body fat, retaining your muscle mass. You don't want to lose muscle mass in that calorie deficit, and a high protein diet is a perfect way to make sure you retain that muscle mass. So then at that point, you've hit your deficit, you've hit your protein, you can basically eat whatever you want. It's up to you at that point. Now here's what I would recommend you do, although you don't have to do this. This is just what I see works best for most people. So hit that calorie deficit, hit your protein, make sure you get those fundamentals, go to the gym, stay consistent with your exercise plan, 3 days per week, whatever program you follow, get your 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep per night, make those things a priority in your life. That might take you a few weeks to get those things locked in, and then once you've built that habit, once you've built that consistency and momentum, then we can start cleaning up your diet. And when I say cleaning up your diet, that doesn't mean not eating your favorite foods, but eating healthy doesn't mean food doesn't taste good anymore. And that's another big mistake. People think eating healthy means that the food tastes bad, and it really doesn't. This is when you can start to get creative if you want to. It means things like steak, eggs, potatoes, oats, pasta. These are all foods that are healthy. You can add certain fruits in there. My favorite fruits are pineapples and strawberries. They're all healthy foods, and you can sort of craft different meals together with your favorite foods that are all dense in nutrition, that are all good for you. My biggest mistake, and a mistake that people make, is they put too much pressure on themselves to have the perfect diet, and then when it's not perfect, you get discouraged. That's why I say slowly clean up your diet. Think about things you might want to take out of there that are not really serving you and not really good for your energy levels or your health, and then start thinking about creative ways, like I said, to add those meals in, and do those things over time. Don't try to add everything in brand new straight away, because it's going to be overwhelming, it's going to be too much for you to stick to. And at that point, you don't even have to clean up your diet completely. A good way of eating, and a sustainable way of eating for a lot of people, is to have their nutrition 80% of the time where it's like that. They have those healthy foods that are dense in nutrition, and then 20% of their nutrition is just foods they enjoy. It might be chocolate, it might be a donut, and some people like to eat that later in the day, some people like to have that in between meals, and it just depends what balance looks like for you and something that you can actually stick to. A good way to start with your calorie deficit is to take your body weight in pounds, multiply that by 12, and eat that many calories per day. A calorie deficit, you should be losing anywhere between 1 and 2 pounds per week on the scale, and so you might need to adjust those calories accordingly. That's just a rough guide. That's why I said it takes a few weeks to set things up, and then that's usually around where most people's figure is. The video I want you guys to go and watch next is really going to help you out, especially with your nutrition. It's 12 different foods, healthy foods that you might want to consider adding to your nutrition plan, and I really believe this video is going to help you out.